Hey, I'm Mark,
And I'm Craig.
and this is Songwriters Tales. We have another artist for our Artist Spotlight series. Craig, tell us who we're spotlighting today.
Mark, this guy is amazing. I mean, I met him a year ago. His name is Reed Waddle. He's a local Atlanta, Georgia performer, songwriter, was just at Eddie's Attic recently. He's one of the most unique artist that I have heard in quite the while. His voice is amazing. His songwriting skills are amazing. He's had a publishing deal in Nashville, all kind of great stuff. So he has all kinds of wisdom, and he's going to perform a song as well. So we're looking forward to this podcast. So what do you say, Mark?
Let's do it. Hey, we're back, and we are back with very special guest Reed Waddle. And Craig, I'm going to let you kind of kick things off with Reed, and I'm looking forward to learning all about you, Reed.
All right. Hey, guys.
Absolutely. Hi, Reed. Good morning to you, my man.
Good morning to both of you. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Yes, sir. So I'm going to give a brief overview of how you and I came to know each other. You are a local Atlanta musician now, and we'll find out more about your past as we get into the podcast. But I saw you for the first time, I believe it was last year at Emory University, and
right.
You were playing the stage there, and I had the pleasure of sitting alongside. And I didn't know who you were because I'm a working musician, so I never get a chance to see or hear anybody anymore like I used to. But all of a sudden, there you were. And I want to tell you, you are so unique. That's the thing that hit me first, was you're super unique. I have not heard anybody that sounded like you, performed like
cool.
you. Very original, even on your covers, because you're a songwriter, and we'll get into that. So we were excited to get you here on the show, and.
Yeah.
And so let's start. Mark, you wanna start off with I'm sure you've got a question or two.
Well, yeah, I was just going to, because I'm not as familiar with you, Reed. Why don't you just kind of give us the overview of the Reed Waddle journey?
The cliff notes of myself. Well, originally I grew up in Destin, Florida, in the Panhandle, Florida, and my dad was is a musician. So I kind of grew up around folklore of, his time on the road in the early 70s. He opened up for Bruce Springsteen before he was famous, and Bonnie Raitt and all these cool. So that's I grew up hearing stories about, songwriting and gigs and playing in smoky bars and stuff like that. So it just there were always guitars around, and my dad played in the church. He's a financial guy now, but he's a musician. You're a musician for life, in your heart.
True.
Yeah.
And he still plays. So I'm pretty grateful for that. We made records in our house, and back when making records in your house wasn't as common as it is today. Which had its father-son relationship is it's a deep thing, but making a record with your dad,
that's cool.
Good and bad.
That's very cool.
It's a pretty cool part of our connection, as a father and son. But I grew up in Destin. I went to school at University of Florida, and knew as soon as I got there that I just wanted to write songs anyways. So my parents made me graduate, and I ended up just playing gigs in Florida, all over the state, all over the Southeast. And then around 2009, I said I needed to go somewhere different, and I moved to Boston for some odd reason. I knew one person there, and I just wanted to go on my, Jack Kerouac experience. I just wanted to go see America. Yeah. And cool. I moved there, lived there for about a year and a half, played gigs up there, worked jobs, and ended up moving to New York shortly after that, made a record up there. Lived there for a few years, and then came back to Missouri, where my now wife had her first job. And we have been in and out of Atlanta for the past 8 years, 12 years, really. We lived in DC for a little bit. And during that time, I had a publishing deal in Nashville with a small company called Bandwagon Red that doesn't exist anymore, but kind of gave me the opportunity to really do the Nashville thing, which, as you both know, is its own thing. I felt I've kind of treated like it was my college of writing songs. I learned
Yeah.
a lot about the industry, a lot about how Nashville operates, a lot about how I operate. And it was I'm really grateful for the experience. So, and now I'm here playing gigs, and I just played Eddie's Attic last week, which was really cool. And just doing all I can, to keep the wheels moving, producing all my stuff now pretty much at home. And now that everything is accessible, it's amazing how the past, for at least for me, I just grew up thinking if you needed to make a record, you would go into a studio, which you still can and do, but now I never thought I would be able to record myself. And I started doing vocal work, just singing vocals for people, and it kind of taught me how to use Logic and Pro Tools, and and then YouTube and friends that are better than you that teach you tricks. Still learning and always will be. So
yeah,
which makes it fun.
So on you, I'm looking. You've got a recent release, correct? Do I have that right?
I'm releasing just singles for the past 2 years or so, year and a half. I'll work on a song, and if I think it's good enough, I'll put it out one at a time. I put out an album. The last album I put out was in 2021, I guess, right around COVID, which everybody put out an album right around COVID, I guess. When I made it in Nashville, it was it was during when it was in the middle of my publishing deal, so I was writing a ridiculous amount of songs, too many songs, 150 songs a year, just looking back on it now, not all by myself, obviously, it was the co-writing thing, and I was making a record at the same time, which is if I had to do it over again, I probably would have, maybe pumped the brakes on one of them and focused on the other, but you have to take the road that's in front of you, but it's called Time the River, and I recorded it in East Nashville over when I could, I would go to, I was never actually living in Nashville. I would go for a week at a time, or when I lived in Atlanta, I would go up on Monday and come back on Thursday. I did that for probably 5 years, which looking back on it now is pretty insane. But when I was living in DC, I would come down for a week, and I would write, and then at night I would work on the record. And I listen back to it now, and I hear it, and I'm really proud of the project. But you always listen to something back when it's finished and going, man, I should have. I just hear it myself. I just sound so tired, because I was, I was just
you probably were tired.
So many directions, but it was
it's a long drive.
And I had to make. It was one of those records that I had to make, and I'm glad I did.
Sure.
And I'm very proud of it. And it's the last full length record I've made. Ever since then, I've been putting out singles. When I feel like, as opposed to writing for the market or writing, to try to sell something, I'm back to kind of square one of writing by myself and writing what makes me feel. Writing what I want to write. So it's been really good.
From the gut. From the gut.
From the heart, from the gut. Always from the heart and the gut, but a little way more trusting my instincts again, as opposed to wondering, who's gonna sing this? Bubble, what box does this fit in? It's gonna fit where it fits, and if it doesn't fit, I'll write another one,
So Reed,
I'm back to being an artist again, I guess is a way to put it.
I love that idea. Go back for a second, and just because some people may not know how this works, talk about the Nashville publishing songwriting thing, because I don't think people realize what a grind.
It's I didn't realize it either when I first started going there, which was in 2015 probably. I understood publishing a little bit, and obviously I understood songwriting, but the way a publishing company, what if you want to go to Nashville and be a working songwriter and get a publishing deal, you kind of have to get a little lucky and meet the right people, just like anything in life. But you are basically writing songs for a company that is they're investing in you to hopefully they're buying you, they're looking at you like a lottery ticket. Like, hey, this guy or girl is a good writer. We want to give them a draw a month. It's basically a loan, an investment in maybe you can write a hit that will make everybody money. And I think, years ago when people bought records, it was obviously a lot easier to retain, your investment. But now with streaming and just how many writers are on number ones at one time, for the most part, it's just difficult. It's always been difficult because so many people are trying to do it. And my publishing company was really small, and I was really lucky to even find them. I found them on a website that I don't think exists anymore. And I started coming when I first came there, I never thought that would be my path. It just kind of presented itself, and I took that path, and I did it for like 6 or 7 years, which is a pretty long time to have a publishing deal. Usually they give you like a big real publishing company, if you want to call it that, would probably give you 2 years and then they move on. So
if you don't produce.
Yeah, you got to, exactly. You got to, this is business. And I think that's really the part that I think people need to educate themselves about as much as they can. Is the music part it can be whatever you want it to be. With the business part is ever evolving. And if you're going to do it that way, you better understand it, or at least read up about it. Cause nobody's going to do you any favors.
No,
especially in that time.
It's interesting, Reed. A lot of our listeners won't understand that. Just because you had your publishing deal and you didn't get a major cut with a major artist doesn't mean that your songs weren't major cut, major artist material. Because what happens with songwriters, this is for the listening people out there, is you write this song and it can be the greatest song in the world. But then your publisher has to believe in it, and then they've got to plug it. They've got to push it and pitch it to artists, to A&R, to producers, and it's got to be a timing thing. They got to believe in it so much. I'll give you a good example. Tony Arata, who wrote The Dance for Garth Brooks, he didn't write it for him, but it was the Garth Brooks song, The Dance.
Yeah,
huge, massive hit. And I actually had lunch with him one day out in Nashville, and he was telling me the whole story. He said, I used to sit on the balcony and play that song all the time, when I wrote it. He was from down in Vidalia, Georgia, that area down there.
Yeah.
And he went to college down there, and he said he played to all his friends and his family, and they go, oh yeah, that's okay.
That's
cool.
an
all right song, and just kind of turn around and yawn, And so, anybody who says they know what works and what is going to be the next greatest thing, I've heard many publishers say they don't know what they're talking about.
Nobody knows.
Really knows.
I mean, that's what's crazy about the music business is throw conventional, business out the window, because it's not a conventional business. And really, the way that it is like businesses is that it's really all about relationships. I mean, the music is what drives it, but a song, you can get a song cut because the person who's pitching it believes in it so much that they get it cut. Or you meet a songwriter at a round that you just start talking to, and then that's what, looking back on it, it's really all about your relationships, because it's almost impossible to do it by yourself. And as a songwriter, as a singer-songwriter, that myself, who's probably like you, Craig, has played most of your gigs in your life alone, that's a hard thing to like wrap your mind around totally, is that you have to develop your relationships as much as you develop your craft. That is part of your craft. If you're going to run in that, and if you're going to swim in that water, you better,
That's so true.
Understand
that's
that.
so true. So were you doing
time to even like acknowledge that, I think, and that might have been, my not my downfall, but just it's you look back, hindsight's 2020, and it's like, and all the songs any of the songs I did get cut, it wasn't because it was 9 times out of 10, it wasn't because it was such a special song. It was because it was the right song for the person at the right time.